In the last month or so, we've gotten some rumors about test screenings for the upcoming James Gunn Superman movie, and charitably, they could be described as mixed, with some reports saying that the audiences loved it, comparing it to the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Other reports are saying that audiences outright hated the movie. We don't know for sure what actually happened, but one thing is for sure, James Gunn has said in the past that he doesn't like doing reshoots on his movie. He likes getting an all-in-principle photography, and that's it. And after these test screenings took place, then they ordered a bunch of reshoots for the movie. Now, is that to say that the movie is a disaster and they're going to scramble to fix it? Well, we can't say that with 100% certainty. It does suggest that there are problems with the movie, because presumably if the test screenings were fantastic, then they wouldn't want to change anything, but maybe the test screenings were overall good and there was still some suggestions of areas that they could fix. So they're trying to do that because, according to these other rumors, they really need this movie to work. Warner Brothers and DC Studios could be sold off if James Gunn Superman fails. I think that's a pretty big statement right there, saying that they're going to sell it off DC if it fails. But to me, there is some elements to that do just kind of make sense, and I'll get to more of that in a moment. A new rumor alleges that DC Studios could be sold off or go the way of Fox if James Gunn's Superman movie does not perform well at the box office. This rumor comes from Kim Masters at Puck, who painted a bleak picture not only for DC Studios, but Warner Brothers Pictures at large. Speaking specifically to DC Studios, Masters shared that Gunn's Superman film has taken an almost incalculable importance to Warner Brothers Discovery, and that if they can't find a way to make the DC franchise work, the studio will go the way of Fox, which was swallowed by Disney in 2019. This isn't to say that they're going to be selling it to Disney or anything like that, but just kind of the idea that if they can't make their franchise work, something that they've been trying to do for quite a while now, then no point even trying at it. And I think, or at least I think, when it comes to this Superman movie, DC or Warner Brothers Discovery was looking at their DC franchises and thinking like, okay, we couldn't make this work with Zack Snyder, and at least not to the level of the success that Marvel was able to achieve. Let's bring on James Gunn, give him kind of a tryout with his Suicide Squad movie. Okay, that worked. People seem to like it. People seem to like his movies with Marvel. All right, so let's give him control of it, give him all the resources, let him make a movie of the most recognizable character within the DC lineup, and see if we can make start off a good franchise with that. Give him all the money available, and that's not even putting it lightly. According to some reports, the budget is $363 million for this movie. So they're basically just pulling out all the stuff for James Gunn and saying, like, if we can't make this work under these circumstances, then there's probably no point in trying to make a comic book franchise work for our studio. So at that point, why are we holding on to this property? Let's just sell it off and just salvage what we can from this sort of thing. So to me, this does kind of make at least some semblance of sense, especially also when you consider that there's really nothing that has started so far that they can't undo. Like, James Gunn has announced a bunch of projects that they wanted to do with DC, and so far the only one that's actually in production right now is the upcoming Supergirl movie that's supposed to come out next year. And I believe they just started production on that about a month ago, and it's supposed to be in production for the next couple months. So I think that that's definitely going to be coming out. I don't think they're going to cancel it during the production, although Warner Brothers does have a habit, or not, maybe not a habit, but they have some precedent for canceling stuff even after it's done. Look at the Batgirl movie that was reportedly already done, but they canceled that for the tax write-off. So maybe they would be willing to do that for the upcoming Supergirl movie. We don't know. But again, that's also assuming that these rumors are true, that they're looking at James Gunn's Superman movie as kind of a sink or swim for the DC franchise underneath Warner Brothers Discovery. An alleged Warner Brothers veteran told Masters, an essential element of the stock price is believing that the IP of DC is meaningful. David bet big that we can show the world that the DC IP can have a real value. Superman is the first movie that will set the tone. They have a tremendous amount riding on it. Yeah, like I've already pointed out, $363 million production budget riding on it. That means they probably need to make 1.2 billion or something like that in order to be profitable about just this movie. Now, to be fair, even if it doesn't reach $1.2 billion, or even if the movie isn't necessarily profitable, but it's really well received, I think Warner Brothers could look at that and think like, okay, we lost money on this movie, but treat it like an investment. It set a good tone for the future of the DCEU. So even if this movie didn't make money for itself, it's still going to set up the DCEU in future installments that could still be profitable for them. On top of this rumor that much of DC Studios and Warner Brothers future relies on Gunn Superman film, Masters also detailed that Warner Brothers Pictures boss Mike DeLuca and Pab Abney might be replaced by DC Studios co-CEO Peter Safran, or that Zaslav might find another replacement himself. However, Warner Brothers spokesman Robert Gibbs rejected previous rumor of the same vein that DeLuca and Abney were on the way out. He said there is no truth to that rumor. Well, I mean, we don't know what to make of all this too, because obviously they're not going to try to paint a picture of turmoil going on behind the scenes at the studio. They're going to try to make it seem as if everything is going good. And that's just kind of more of what you should expect from a studio like this, because any suggestions that there's going to be people on the way out of the studio could lead some to believe, which I think is reasonable, that they don't have much faith in their upcoming movie. So they're going to try to keep it under wraps if there are some big shakeups at the studio behind the scenes. Nevertheless, Masters is not the only one reporting that there is trouble brewing inside Warner Brothers. Thomas Buckley at Bloomberg claimed that Zaslav took issue with DeLuca and Abney over the failure of Joker Folie à Deux. The film only grossed $207.5 million globally, despite having a reported $190 million production budget. Not only did Zaslav take issue with the failure of the Joker sequel, but he was reportedly not happy with the cost of the upcoming film greenlit by DeLuca and Abney. However, a spokesman said the meeting was simply a straightforward Joker 2 post-mortem and a constructive conversation on the slate. So we don't know what to expect when it comes to this. Like I said, they have all the incentive in the world to try to make it seem as if things are going good behind the scenes and that they're not concerned about their upcoming movie, even though, like I said, we got reports of test screenings, and then they ordered reshoots with some reports saying that the test screenings were awful and James Gunn doesn't like to do reshoots, and they spent a lot of money on this movie, and there's nothing that's really been done that can't be undone as far as future movies that they have set to come out right now. So what do you think about all this? Do you think that these rumors are true, where Warner Brothers is going to be just looking to get rid of DC once and for all if they can't make this franchise work under all the circumstances that they have? Or do you think this is just simply gossip and there's no truth to be found in it whatsoever? Or maybe it's something in the middle. Comment below and let me know what you think. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.